reported in Louisiana, and the tornado now is about 6 miles. Last report of the tornado was about 6 miles to the south of Louisiana. So here's Louisiana. This is where the tornado is. Let's just get in tight here. This is where the tornado, and we have had a number of reports now, A, of damage associated with this, and B, of confirmed reports of the tornado being on the ground. So this is State Highway NN, this is State Highway D. This is obviously Highway NN back here. It is a storm that is tracking to the northeast at about 30 miles an hour. We'll put on the, I'll just do a little storm track for you from where this cell is as it tracks to the northeast at about 30 miles an hour. Takes it into Atlas at 4:43 and Pleasant Hill by 4:45. So again, this is a storm that is capable of producing damage, and we know that because it already has produced damage. It has inspired a tornado warning that remains in effect for Pike County, Missouri until 4:45, and for the northern portion of Calhoun County and Greene County, where we're expecting it to track next, until 5 p.m. It is part of this larger line that extends all the way back into Jefferson City, where we've got a number of issues related to large hail. That we've had reports of golf ball size hail and marble size hail in these areas. We're also getting reports of golf ball size hail in and around the Louisiana area. That came to us at 1.75 inch diameter hail. That was in Louisiana. Bowling Green, 1.75 inch diameter hail. We also had a report of a wall cloud. That was from a spotter on Highway 54. And then there are these ongoing reports of damage. That comes to us from the Pike County Sheriff's Department. We also have the tornado watch that's in effect until 9 p.m. We're going to take a brief break, and we'll be back in about 1 minute.
It was a yes, absolutely. But let's make sure that this is safe and that everybody can go through this process and come out on the other end.
Because were you worried about your mother-in-law?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Might be unusual for certain people, but...
Yeah, worried about your mother-in-law. So Chris was saying how you all had a nice relationship, you know, calling once a week, okay?
But even less than that sometimes. You know, we were living our lives. I hadn't lived at home since I was in college, and we certainly enjoyed seeing each other, but we weren't a every day on the phone, talk about every decision kind of mother-daughter.
So how would you describe it? Polite is what I heard that you said.
I think polite and affectionate, but not, it wasn't extremely close. I mean, it's so different now. So different.
Because you'd moved away and now you're leading your own life.
Yeah.
And so that changed with this? Yeah.
So much. And I know that people talk about when they have a baby with their own mother or mother-in-law, they become close a lot of times around the baby, but we got to do that, you know, before the baby even arrived. And we read Harry Potter every day. We had story time with the baby. So we would
together.
Yeah, either on the phone, or I would travel to Virginia, and then my mom moved in, and we had so much time together.
What was it like when you saw baby Finn for the first time?
Well, when we went into the room for the C-section, I just have this, my mom and I were holding hands, and I could see her eyes because we were in scrubs.
Because she was in 30 hours of labor.
30 at least.
At least.
Yes, yes.
Pushing, and all that, yes.
So we go to C-section, and
This is a News Channel 5 severe weather alert.
I'm News Channel 5 meteorologist Mike Roberts. Well, we have a tornado warning in effect for Pike County, Missouri, for Calhoun and Greene counties in Illinois. And we have confirmation of a tornado on the ground around Louisiana, just south of Louisiana, moving to the northeast at 30 miles an hour. We've had reports from the Pike County Sheriff's Department of damage associated with this storm. We've also had a number of reports of very large hail. Now, we have to follow basic procedures here, so the first thing I just want to do is reiterate to you folks in Pike County, this is the real deal. You have a tornado on the ground. We don't know the strength of this storm, but we should assume winds in excess of 100 and maybe even stronger miles in terms of sustained winds. That's the hook right there, just to the east of Bowling Green. The storm is tracking toward Pleasant Hill. It is tracking to the northeast northeast at about, well, maybe east-northeast at about 34 miles an hour, which is going to bring it into Clarksville at about 432, Pleasant Hill at about 438, and about 444 in Martinsburg. But the thing of it is that we want you to seek shelter immediately, no matter where you live in any of these counties. I'm going to turn this storm tracker off, and we're going to go in tight. You see that little funky circulation north and east of Bowling Green? This right here. Well, south and west of Stark, north and east of Bowling Green. This is probably where the circulation is. It's south of Louisiana, but it doesn't mean that Louisiana is in any way, shape, or form out of the woods. You should all be seeking shelter in an interior room. If you have a basement, under the stairs. If you don't, but you're in a building with a secure foundation, an interior room, in a mobile home, you're not safe, and I hope that you have a safe place to go that is secure. Now, this storm is going to continue to track to the northeast. Basically, we're expecting all of central and northern Pike County in Missouri and almost all of central and northern and northwestern Pike County, Illinois, to at least have marble size to baseball size hail, and maybe even stronger than that. We've had a number of reports of baseball size hail. We also have a severe thunderstorm now in Franklin County. But first and foremost, what we've got to do is we've got to think about the safety and well-being of everybody in play here. Are you in Calhoun County? Seek shelter immediately. Are you in the northern portion, any part of Greene County? You should seek shelter immediately. Now, there is also this little area of thunderstorm activity in the northeastern portion of Franklin County. It looks innocuous enough, but really it has inspired a severe thunderstorm warning for Franklin County, and that now is going to be running until 5:15. But it's also the case that we have a bigger line of thunderstorms west of St. Louis that extends into Gasconade County. That's the real deal, and that I'm going to take these satellite pictures off, and actually I just want to show you the northwestern portion of Franklin County, central and northern Gasconade County. That's where these warnings are in effect for. So you have this cell in northeastern Franklin County, and that's probably going to produce some hail. But the storm warning, the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for northwestern Franklin County, for the better part of central and northern Gasconade County, is from this cell right here, this line right here, that's just to the east of Jefferson City. We've had a number of reports of damage associated with the storm that's to the north of us up in Pike County, and I'm going to go back there in a moment. We've had confirmed reports of damage. But I want to show you this. All these that you're seeing here on our radar, all these thunderstorms, are called supercells. They're supercells because they have a tendency to have updrafts within them that rotate. And you can see evidence of that rotation right here with this comma-shaped area just south and east of Jefferson City. Here's one comma. Here's another that looks like it's trying to develop a circulation just to the east of Jefferson City. Then there are a series of these that work their way all the way up to just west of the Montgomery County line. And then obviously we have the cell of consequence here that is in central and eastern Bowling Green. Now, I've just got a number of reports of rotation being tracked with a tornadic supercell that's headed toward Clarksville. This is from a trained spotter. We have a number of reports. The National Weather Service is tracking a confirmed tornado near Louisiana. It's moving east at 35 miles an hour. It's this cell right here. So that's the guy. And as you look at this shape on your television screen, the reason that it has that sort of comma shape to it is because of the fact that we've got a rotation here that is moving in a counterclockwise direction. So I have to reiterate this to you. There is a tornado on the ground in Pike County, Missouri. It's nearing Clarksville, but anybody in central and northern Pike County, Missouri, and in Pike County, Illinois should seek shelter immediately. Now, Kay, and we have apparently the sheriff is on the phone. Kay, are you going to be talking to him? Well, I will be talking to him. Well, Sheriff, I understand that you have had at least some of your officers see this storm when it was 1 to 2 miles away from Bowling Green, and you also have reports of damage. What exactly is that damage?
Basically, we're getting a couple buildings have had some severe damage. We believe one unoccupied home has had the roof taken off. Actually, from here to office in Bowling Green, we could see two separate funnel clouds, going up and down. We actually here at the office in Bowling Green, we also had golf ball and I'd say probably as big as a fist-sized hail here also. We're getting reports, that the hail's now in Louisiana.
Sheriff, did I hear you correctly? Did you say you saw multiple vortices with this tornado?
We saw two separate ones. They were probably a few miles apart.
Oh, I see.
And,
okay.
and the one of them that's closest to the office here, it was dipping up and down. It was a very thin one. So.
How long ago was that?
I think we're looking at about 25 minutes ago now.
And you had, say, baseball-size hail with that storm?
Yes.
And damage, tell me again about the damage. Where was that?
So far, we have one house with a confirmed, took the entire roof off, be southwest of the, here of Bowling Green.
Okay.
So.
Okay, and your officers are deployed. Are they in contact with National Weather Service spotters?
Basically, the National Weather Service is doing the sponsors. Hey, Mike, I've got to go,
All
okay?
right, thank you, Sheriff. And can I get your name, Sheriff?
Stephen Cordy, Sheriff, Pike County.
All right, thank you, Sheriff, from Pike County, on duty and doing a great job. We have this storm that actually is pretty complex. As you heard the sheriff mention, we may have a couple of different funnels or tornadoes or wall clouds or all of the above with this storm. It's tracking to the northeast pretty slowly at 30 miles an hour. So as it does that and it moves to the, it's northeast direction, but it's more east than north. We'll turn on the storm trackers, and I'm just going to give you at least a few points of reference here. As the storm moves in that direction, it would be arriving in... Well, it would be arriving in Clarksville probably in the next 15 minutes or so. Now, in addition to that, we have just received this new tornado warning, which is being reissued for almost the same exact place. It's coming out even as we speak for Pike County. This is a new tornado warning, and it's in effect until 5:15 p.m. So the Weather Service is thinking that is the circulation right there. We've been talking about that. Now, there is a new tornado warning in effect for 5:15 because this storm is now starting to turn a little bit more to the east and shows no signs of any weakening at all. The thunderstorm for Warren County and Montgomery County is producing 1-inch diameter hail. So this is a storm that has a different kind of warning attached to it. It's a severe thunderstorm warning, but already this storm, which is coming into Montgomery County right now, is coming in with a history of being sort of in a bad mood. It's producing baseball-size hail. That was not that long ago, and it's a warning that's in effect until 5:15. So the areas to the west of St. Louis in Montgomery County and Gasconade County have in common, along with that Franklin County, severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect until 5:15. Let's just pull out so you can get a better lay of the land, so to speak. This is the line that is making its way into Montgomery County. It's not quite in Gasconade County, but this south and east of Jefferson City is expected to get into Gasconade County. And then it's going to be a little bit longer before it slides into the northwestern portion of Franklin County. But this line is producing this very large hail. Also, I think we need to understand that these have the capacity to generate tornadoes too. That's why we all share a tornado watch in effect until 9 p.m. But as of this moment in time, beyond very large hail, we haven't had reports of damage. We just talked to the sheriff from Pike County, Missouri. He's got his folks on duty. In fact, he was responding while he was on the air. He got a call to respond to what we think is something associated with this storm. Well, here are the new tornado warnings. You're looking at a tornado warning that's in effect until 5:15 for Pike County in Missouri, and it's in effect until 5:15 as it replaces the old tornado warning. National Weather Service is tracking a confirmed tornado near Louisiana moving to the east at 35 miles an hour. Damage was reported to Bowling Green due to this tornadic storm. Do not wait until the storm is near you. Make sure that you seek shelter immediately. So where is this storm going? Well, it's obviously about ready to cross the Mississippi River and slide into the northwestern portion of Calhoun County. And you are also sharing this tornado warning. Clarksville, this is the circulation, so if it's not on the ground, it has only lifted for a moment and could return at any second. And I'll give you some frames of reference. McIntosh, this storm belongs to you. It is a storm that is just crossing Highway 79 and Highway D. This is probably where we're seeing very large hail. We could see behind the center of behind the circulation of the storm, that's where we have our hail core now. And so I think we should reasonably expect to see very large, maybe baseball-size hail around Stark, Vera, Calumet. The circulation, though, of this this supercell that may be producing, well, we have confirmed reports it is producing a tornado. That's this right here, just coming into Clarksville.